Hey everybody, thanks for joining us.
And welcome to the 20th episode of Fight Like the Movies.
The tutorial series we study cinema's most epic fight scenes and employ what we discover
to develop a deeper understanding of film combat.
That's right! I'm your instructor TJ Cencula with special guest instructor and whipmaster Matt Fronta.
Today's lesson, the Indiana Jones series.
The first Indiana Jones film released in 1981 with sequels following in 84 and 89.
Directed by Steven Spielberg.
With credited stunt coordinators and stunt arrangers Peter Diamond, Glenn Randall, and Vic Armstrong, who was also Harrison Ford's stunt double, as Indiana Jones.
Roll it.
Indiana Jones is a rough and tumble scrapper who relies on his wits, his fists, and a healthy amount of luck. His adventures lead him to some of the world's most dangerous places, where he must often fight for his life against impossible odds. Set in the 1930s, Indiana Jones takes a page or two from classic American-style boxing, but depends more on his environment, his whip, or any other type of weapon he can scrounge up. He's also not adverse to bringing a gun to a knife fight. Bang! Armed with an iron jaw and a high threshold for pain, Indiana Jones absorbs a lot of damage. But anything he might lack in the way of technical fighting skills, he more than makes up for with sheer toughness. Indy will exploit his advantages when he has one, and he will find a way to turn the tides when the odds are stacked against him. Honor has no place in his combat system. He fights like a true survivalist and does whatever it takes to come out alive. It doesn't hurt that he often finds himself on the favorable end of an unexpected circumstance. He mixes it up everywhere, from the streets of Cairo to deep within the bowels of an ancient temple of doom. Most of the violence is set amidst elaborately staged stunt set pieces, heightening the urgency, action, and suspense. And let's face it, Indy spends a lot of time on the ground. But the important thing is he always gets back up. Phrases like out of the frying pan and into the flame were made to describe characters like our pal Indy. Fortunately, he proves time and time again to be at least marginally flame retardant. What really characterizes Indiana Jones in the throes of an action set piece is his resourcefulness. For all the bumps and bruises, the whip-wielding adventurer possesses an unparalleled clutch ability and always manages to live long enough to spring another trap, provoke another enemy, or run afoul of some unsavory critter like rats, insects, snakes, or Nazis. Indiana Jones is the kind of hero who will jump straight off the spaghetti western cereal stallion and onto the World War II tank and figure out how not to die once he gets there. He might not be big on planning ahead, but his quick decision-making skills more than makes up the difference. The elaborate and complicated stunt work performed in the Indiana Jones series went a long way to providing audiences with the ideal atmosphere for this rugged man of action. It also set a new standard for the epic Hollywood adventure tale. It's not surprising that a professor of archaeology would get their hands dirty, but Indiana Jones takes it to a whole other level. Now, if he can only find some way to keep that fedora from constantly blowing off his head. Let's meet the class.
Let's get cracking.
And ready for some action! So the first thing you think about when you think about Indiana Jones is that whip. It's such a part of who he is as a character that there was no way we're going to be able to do this class without having that. And that's why I asked Whipmaster Matt Fronta to join me. Some of you guys might recognize him from some of the other episodes. He is super awesome with the whip, so he was the first person who came into mind when this came up. What was the whip experience like with the class?
Well, I mean, when we were teaching the whip stuff, we knew that when we were going to shoot the fight scenes that we'd be able to protect our scene partner from the whip by using some different camera angles and using distance to our advantage. But when you're the one holding the whip and you're the one cracking it, there's nothing protecting yourself other than your skill with the weapon. So we had to make sure that the actors were able to use the whip themselves without injuring themselves.
What was the length of the whips that you used in class today?
Today we use whips between 6 and 7 feet long. Now the way a bull whip is measured is that length only takes into account the braided section. So you have about a 6-foot bullwhip, plus on the end of that a fall, which is a strip of leather or nylon, it's another 2 feet roughly. So that's already, we're looking at 8 or 9 feet. Plus you have the length of your arm, that's another couple feet. Now we're looking at a length of like 10 feet. You can swing that in a circle, so you see that pretty soon you have a pretty large area of potential destruction or problems where you're gonna get tangled on something. Whip is kind of a scary weapon. I mean, it's not rigid like a sword, so you're throwing it up there and it's moving through air and it's kind of unpredictable, especially when you're first learning, but everyone did a wonderful job.
What is it about the whip that causes the cracking sound?
Well, the sound of the whip cracking is actually the tip of the whip breaking the sound barrier. So
What?
that's right. It's going Mach 1.
Mach 1?
The speed of sound. That's right. What you're hearing is actually a mini sonic boom. So as you crack that whip, it unrolls, begins to pick up speed, going faster and faster until at the very end, pop.
So, you guys just heard it. The people in class today who wielded this whip, and everybody was getting cracks off, broke the sound barrier. They went Mach 1. That's pretty epic. Once we finished doing the whip training, we integrated that with some choreography. Indiana Jones is a pretty rough and tumble guy, and he gets himself into some pretty dangerous situations. So we had to get a little bit of that old-fashioned fisticuffs, and because he does often encounter tribes of people who still wield steel, he has to occasionally get in his fair share of sword fights. So we wanted to combine whip action, sword fighting action, and some old-fashioned style fisticuffs, and integrate that with what Matt taught them with the whip.
Let's get to kill him! Not on diarrhea day. Out of bullets, eh, Dr. Jones? You want some of this? You want to know what cold Cairo steel tastes like? Where do you want me to give you? A cut off a leg, a cut off a hand?
Take this, Dr. Jones.
Oh, you got the whip? What are you going to do with the whip? Don't worry, I got this.
No, you don't got this. This is bad luck. Every time we do this, Big Ball come chasing us.
Big balls are the least of my worries.
But it could be booby trap.
I hope so.
What? Huh? No. You stupid greedy runaway white devil, I'm out of here.
Wait, no, short round. I can always get another one.
So I want to thank Matt Fronte for coming in, being our super awesome special guest instructor. I'm sure the class had an awesome time. And special thanks to the rest of our guests, Alex Hartman, Azim Rizk, and Wendy Lee as the amazing short round.
And that's a wrap. Get it? Like a whip
Whip
wrap?
Oh, that's good. That's good. You're a genius.
Like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead. We'll wait. Did you do it yet? Come on. I got all day. No, seriously. Hey, I got nothing better to do.
If you're still here, you can also go check us out on Facebook, where you can interact with the class, see behind the scenes footage, and check out the schedule of events for the rest of Fight Like the Movies.
And connect with us on Twitter and Instagram at Warrior Showdown.
And if you want to come star in the class, you can join us every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10 p.m. at Swordplay Studios in Burbank, California.
Wait, can anyone come?
Absolutely. All skill levels are welcome.
Even little whippersnappers.
That's right.
And cut.
Oh, wait, that's my line.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry.
And cut. No, wait, that's only me.
Oh,
only
not
me.
cool. Okay.
And cut.
Cut.
Ah, dang it.